All right, welcome back to another episode of BNE with Freeze Rock Ski. This week's guest is the founder of a nonprofit that provides youth with new shoes, a member of the Successes community, and an event organizer. Let's give it up for Janea Sizemore. Thanks for letting us into your world today.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so let's get started with your origin story. Where are you from originally?
Hilton Head Island, South Carolina.
Okay. So I may be wrong in my assumption, but is that where like the Gullah Geechee people are?
Yeah, that's Gullah Island. So we're about maybe 30-ish minutes away from that island.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
History there.
I've heard. I've been to Hilton Head, but like, vacation type of thing. So
yeah.
That's cool. What a cool place. So what was it like growing up there?
Calm. I mean, it's near the water, so whenever you're near water, everything is just still, but still fast at the same time. It's constantly changing with the tourist season because that's what it thrives off.
Okay.
Yeah.
So tourist season is when Hilton Head's live.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And then how'd you get out to Vegas? When did you come here?
So the crazy part is it was a slow night at work. I was bartending at the time, and I had a life coach sit at my bar. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's like 45 minutes till close. And I was like already ready to just clock out and go home. And we had an amazing conversation. And she definitely helped me mentally to know that I was holding myself back. And so from that conversation, we had one more about 2 weeks later. And then I gave myself 90 days and I packed up. My degree is in hospitality, like business management, hospitality, travel, and tourism. So I figured, why not come to the capital of hospitality?
Yeah, you made a good move.
Yeah.
Especially, most people don't use their degree or nothing.
Yeah. I got two of them.
Oh, yeah? What are
so
they?
My second one is allied health. So total opposites. One in the restaurant, hotel industry, and the next one is like management of a hospital.
Okay.
Or a health center.
Oh, dope. Both of those are needed. So,
and here I am running a nonprofit.
Let's talk about your nonprofit. You mentioned it at Successes. It was the Perfect Footwear Foundation.
Your Perfect Footwear.
Your Perfect Footwear Foundation. And so, tell us about that.
Well, the name says a lot because we want it to be your perfect footwear, where we provide brand new shoes and, of course, resources to underserved youth, where we empower them for socialization, academics, and self-development. And so I just want to break down those three umbrellas. Socialization is another category for look good, feel good, do good. So if you're equipped with confidence, then you're going to do your best. Like in school is tough. And so day-to-day operations, whether you're an adult or a child, it's no different. And then academics, where we're planting that seed of, hey, this is what you already have to do. Now let's take it a step further and be the best at it. And if this is the tools that you need, then we're going to provide that so that you are equipped to be the best you. And then self-development is all about evolving, constant growing. And that's in a nutshell what the foundation is about.
Okay, and you guys give shoes to kids that need them.
Brand new shoes where they get to go to Shoe Palace and pick a pair of shoes off the shelf themselves.
Okay, so like back in my day, if you didn't have name brand shoes, like you would have like XJ900s or what they would call the Payless specials. Like people would diss you and they'd like diss your shoes and like, but if you had Jordans, that was a different story. People were like, oh my God. Like, so you're saying that they get name brand shoes?
Yes. And that's the reason why, because I was
going to ask, is that why? Because
I was that little girl that got bullied in middle school and high school because I didn't have the shoes.
And what shoes were you wearing? Do you remember?
I was wearing the Payless. I was wearing the little jellies and the off brands when Air Force Ones was a big deal. And then I was wearing the FUBUs.
But wait, for girls, the jellies were kind of just like, that was something though.
It was in the summer, but then when you didn't have the sneakers in the winter, it was like, oh, you stood out as a target of you didn't have.
Gotcha.
Or you were in flip-flops, because they're cheaper to buy a pair, flip-flops from like Walmart or something. But when you're wearing it in a season that you necessarily shouldn't, you stand out as a target in school to get bullied.
And so helping these kids get these shoes, it helps them not to get bullied.
It plays on their confidence, and confidence is everything in school, because then your confidence affects your emotions, and your emotions is a roadblock of how you learn. So if we can tackle one that's going to do a ripple effect into the other, then we have accomplished something great.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
So how many shoes do you normally give away, or is it like,
So
how does it work?
we try to keep our events around 50. It's just we like to keep it intimate, but yet still help a large amount of kids. So far to date, starting June 1st of last year till December, we have helped over 200 plus kids.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, so that means that 200 plus kids got to go to a retail shoe store, Shoe Palace, and pick a pair of shoes off the shelf to celebrate their academic achievements. And so they know that they are seen, their value, and they're heard. And we pull out the red carpet. Like, we have like the little ropes, we have like the little stands so they're like, it's exclusive to get into this event, and they made it.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I love that. So something else I noticed that you were involved in was like a story time.
Yes.
Yeah, tell me about that.
So I always say kids come for the shoes, but they stay for the education. Why? Step in the Storytime Book Club is a student-led book 6-week curriculum where the students are in charge. It promotes vocabulary expansion, critical thinking, literacy, and a safe space for them to be able to read out loud, and public speaking skills, and to perfect their leadership skills.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
And that they don't even know that they're reading so they're reading the book, and they have a journal. And this journal is like open-ended questions. And so with that, they are able to rewrite the story they're reading in their own way, that now they have rewritten their book and using critical thinking skills. Their variation of the book.
That's cool.
Yeah. So it's school without being school, because we're not school, and we want to make it fun.
So where did you come up with the idea for Your Perfect Footwear? Like, what was that?
Well, as I mentioned, I was one of those kids that got bullied, and I know two things while being in school were that I could control: my emotions and my grades. And so fast forward into changing the mindset, which is what we're doing, is helping them pull from within out and helping them conquer whatever they need to conquer to get across graduation stage. And with that, fast forward to getting out of school, I had friends that had kids young, and I was in a situation where I could help them. And how I wanted to help them was providing shoes for their kids. And so it was a contract of, hey, I'm helping you get I'm giving you these shoes in August before school, but in December, if you want another pair, come back to the shoe store. You pick any pair. I need good grades on your report card. And that was the trade-off, because everything in life you do is a trade-off. So either it's some form of a contract, you go to work, you get a paycheck. You do even better, you get a bonus. And that's the even better is the shoes.
I can imagine when I went to school, that if this was around, there was a lot more people that would have got better grades, because people were like, I mean, I don't know how it is now, but like when I was growing up, like not until middle school though, like in elementary was whatever, but in middle school, like if you didn't have like something really dope, like people,
they pick on you hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it still like that?
Unfortunately,
yeah.
and it's 10 times X. And I say that because now everybody got phones. And so
now
everything is being
got.
recorded. And then everything is now magnitude in the sense of highlighting the negative. Because there could be a bully that's bullying you for that. But now if it goes on social media, and then you got the comments rolling in, and then now if I'm that child that's getting bullied, I'm seeing all of the comments and people laughing, and it's like 10 times
like
X.
You wouldn't have known about it back in the day. Now you see it at all happening.
Mm-hmm.
Dang.
And you got more and more kids committing suicide or going into more mental issues because of social media. So if we can help alleviate some of the problem with that, because of course it's never can be rectified. However, if we can alleviate some and save a life, then we did something great, because what we're doing is life changing.
I mean, saving one life is pretty big in itself, you know, saving lots.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's awesome. I noticed that you maybe host magic shows to do fundraisers.
So I don't host.
Oh, you don't host. Okay, you
I'm
put
not a
them together. Or what?
Yeah, so I'm not a magician.
I didn't think you were the magician. But
So Prestige Worldwide, the other brothers in Bisley app, the company, they put together a amazing lineup in a magic show. So you're getting Las Vegas Strip quality in a neighborhood community gathering.
Oh, that's cool.
And it's free for the parents. So it gives them a safe entertainment event for them to bring their kids to and see some of these cool magicians that also perform on stage, because not everybody has the money to see Chris Angel, Penn and Teller,
Right.
or these other talented magicians. But if you can come to the magic show on a monthly basis, then you still get that for free.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And that helps fundraise for the shoes.
Yeah. And so it's a free event. If you can donate, great. And if you can give even more, amazing. However, we want you to enjoy the show.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, if you guys ever see Janea's magic shows going on, definitely jump in there, check it out, and give some money to the Perfect Footwear Foundation.
And we, again, my IG is Your Perfect Footwear Foundation, where we have these events monthly. So you can always see the flyer there, the date, the location for the most part stays the same, the time stays the same, and my website that has the flyer there too, www.yourperfectfootwear.org. So those are the two areas that you can see.
Can you tell us a story about like when you gave a kid some shoes and it just like moved you?
Yes.
Because I'm sure there's more than one of those.
Yes. So actually at the first event, this one was really touching. And this is how it trickled into now every child gets a little personalized bag of additionals, not just shoes. That's why I say resources. So this one little boy in particular, he was amongst his peers. Everyone came in to get their shoes, but he was still also afraid to take off his shoes, being in the environment that he was getting new ones, because he didn't have socks and his shoes were old and, like he needed some new ones.
Right.
And so I could just tell that he was taken back and like almost timid in and didn't want to participate in the excitement festivities. And I was just like, oh no. And so I discreetly, of course, I do everything with dignity and respect, went to the register, bought a pack of socks, and then came back over, gave it to him, and I said, these are yours. Gave him the socks. You can already tell that small little incentive of buying a pack of socks so that way he could try on shoes and not feel like anybody's watching him and what those shoes he was taking off.
And no one wants to put on a new shoe with an old sock either.
He didn't have any on.
That's none on.
None.
Yeah.
On.
Oh yeah, not either. Yeah, he would have been embarrassed. I'm glad you did that for him.
Yeah. And so I got him a pack of socks, and he tried on the shoes, and he was running out. Like he actually left with his shoes, and we trashed the old. And I was like, "This is your past. Stays here. We're walking into our future." And his mom was so happy.
That's cool.
He was, of course, elated, but his mom was like, "Thank you, thank you, thank you." Yeah.
Man, that definitely made a difference in his day.
Yeah, it made a difference in my day. And then when the kids get emotional, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, you're gonna make me cry!" Like, don't make me cry, because like, who's gonna help us not cry? And so I'm like, even like just now, the joy of what I feel, and like three things I always believe people chase in life: an emotion, an experience, or a memory. And my foundation provides all three.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's emotion, and experience, and a memory.
And memory.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
That is what people are chasing. I think the older you get, the more experiences you chase.
Yeah. And then with those experiences, it comes from a emotion. Either it's joy, it's happiness, it's calm, it's peace, serenity, however that looks for you, or you want to go back to your happy place through that experience. So that's why people love vacations. And you always want more because it's that experience, one, that emotion you felt, but
And a memory too.
that vivid memory that you have that would never leave.
That's a big dopamine hit. Like all three of those at the same time. Like, yeah.
That's how our events are. Like, I'm talking, it is like they already feel like special when they come in. They're walking on the red carpet. They're high-fiving everyone as they walk down. Like, they're little celebrities because they are in their own right.
Of course.
And then with our Project Edwards, we have where we go to Shoe Palace. And so the kids don't know. But we have our volunteers, we have the sales associates, and of course, like the foundations team. And so when a child picks out a pair of shoes, traditionally you hand it over to the salesperson behind the counter, and they put it there to prevent theft. However, at the Perfect Fit, each child gets to bring their shoes to the counter, and then they hand it over to the salesperson, and then they yell out the perfect fit. And everybody stops what they're doing, and we all clap for them. Because it's not just about picking out that physical shoe. It's about that, hey, you picked this out for you. You did the hard work. You deserve to be here, and you deserve to experience this moment, to feel seen, valued, and loved amongst your peers and everybody else in here.
That's got to really do something for kids. Like, I remember being in school, and I was in a couple different programs, and the extra mile that they went, kind of like you just talked about, was some of the only things that ever stuck with me and that helped me in school. Like, that's really cool that you guys do that.
And that takes me back to, you said that was the experience that stuck with you. You felt that emotion, and then you still have that memory.
I still have the memory.
All three.
Yeah. Yo, man, that would be like a good, I don't know, like motto for a travel agency or something. That's a cool. I like that. You should definitely like always use that when you talk about yourself, I think.
I do. Yeah. I do, because I love psychology, but I understand how to overcome my trauma of like being bullied and everything. I had to understand the mindset of where the kids came from. And so understanding that was how I was able to, say like they weren't mean. They were just in their own right of subject to their own knowledge, meaning that they didn't know better. They didn't do better. And so as of course, fast forward and as an adult, looking back at the mindset of kids, because the only thing they can do in school is pick on you about your grades, how you look, and or, about your family. Like, there's not much outside of that they can bully you with. So that's where they're subject to their own knowledge in their little head.
So you don't have to say this if you don't want to, but how'd you get bullied in school? You mentioned that.
Like, picked on.
Like, how though? Like, what did people do? Like, what? Like,
the words hurt. When they say sticks and stones can break my words, but
break my bones.
Oh yeah, sticks and stones can break my bones, but words would never hurt me. Those words stung hard. They were like little bullets. They just hit home. But again, you had to have the confidence to know that you're more than those words. But if you weren't equipped with the confidence, then those words tore.
Yeah. And how did you get the confidence? Like, who'd you get the confidence from?
Changing my mindset, reading books of just like going into different worlds, if you will, with reading and escaping my reality, help a lot, because I was able to not necessarily dwell on it, but see myself in different avenues.
Oh, okay.
And that's where the Third Time Book Club came in, because reading was very beneficial to me as an outlet. And I found my love for reading because back then in the South, as you know, the education system is a lot better today, but than it was growing up. And I wasn't challenged enough. And so I didn't think I was as smart as I actually was, or still am, but back in those days was.
Sure.
Until I found the love for reading, I was like, well, this is easy. I can flip through this book. I can read it in 3 days. Like, okay, what's next?
Well, speaking of books, like, do you have any books that you're currently reading?
I have a couple that I actually just bought this past Saturday.
Let's hear
haven't started.
Okay, what do you got?
So it's called What You Need to Thrive and Survive.
Okay.
I do I did forget the author's
I
name.
mean, that's if you know the title, that's good
Yeah.
enough. We can
I
figure
just
out
met
the
him
rest.
Saturday, and he was an amazing speaker.
Oh, like you were at his book
Yeah.
signing, or
So I was at
or-
Marquetta's DeVille.
Oh yeah, the wealth
money. Yeah, the wealth mindset
seminar.
brunch.
Yeah,
And it was amazing. I can't wait.
Really?
I can't wait for the next one.
really.
And it just wasn't about wealth as in money. It was in wealth as in mindset. Like your mental is your foundation. Like if you don't invest in your mind,
Mhm.
you got nothing. Because either you're always going to be in your way. You're always going to tell yourself you can't do it when you're already equipped to conquer it, overcome it, and start something new. But you are your worst enemy in that sense of wealth when it comes to the mind.
So her seminar was good, though.
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A shout out to the real estate auntie.
Yes, Marquetta DeVille.
So you said there was a second book that you just bought?
Yeah, so he wrote 2.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Maybe did I miss one? What was the second
No,
one?
I don't remember the
Oh, you
second
don't remember the
book's
second book.
name.
Okay.
That started the What You Needed to Survive and Thrive.
Okay, got you. And then do you have any books that you just love that you'd like to recommend to our audience?
The Rich Man, Poor Man book. That one is a really, really good one. It definitely helped my mindset of understanding, again, wealth, but in different avenues of wealth.
Okay. Rich Dad, Poor Dad?
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
What did I say?
Poor man. But I mean,
no, I was actually, there is a book I was looking on Amazon that was the similar topic, and I was debating if I was going to get it. So Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Yeah.
Gotcha. That's definitely a highly recommended one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've read that myself, and it definitely tweaked the way I thought about just money and finances in general, I guess, and the way I thought about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because we trade our time for money when we clock in on somebody's clock. But then when you work yourself, you're trading your value for money, your knowledge for money, and that turns into wealth.
That's a bar right there. That was good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I just read books. I love books.
Hell yeah. Yeah, books are the best. Like, one of the things that I do on this podcast is always ask people what books they are reading and what they recommend, because it's just a good way to transfer knowledge. And, books don't really cost you much. Like, it costs you your time, and then
it costs you the same much you would spend at Starbucks.
Yeah.
And this book will be there every day.
Yeah.
And that Starbucks drink is, it's gone in, for me, especially a Frappuccino, it's gone in like a minute. I'm going to be writing a book. It's a kid's book soon.
Oh, let's hear about this.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's called In Her Steps.
In Her Steps.
And of course the title may change because I already played around with a couple.
And it's a kid's book.
Okay. And so it's a little girl named Maya. And it's about essentially the foundation also, because I don't want kids to get misconstrued about we're providing shoes because they need it. No, it's about we're providing a tool that you may need to overcome something to become something greater. So in this book, Maya thought she needed these shoes because everybody else had shoes and she couldn't plan her activities, after school activities and stuff because she didn't have the right shoes. And that was me with the jellies. I couldn't play basketball in jellies. Right. And so I didn't play. I wanted to do, I tried out for the cheerleading, but we didn't have the funds to provide the outfit and resources and stuff. And of course, you have the certain shoes. And so I couldn't did it. I made the team, but I had to drop out. And so Maya was in the same sense of she didn't have the shoes that she needed to play with the other kids in different events. And then her teacher got the shoes from the foundation, and they were just in her size. And before she even had a chance to say anything, Miss Jordan, and her name is Miss Jordan because I never own a pair of Jordans.
I like
but
that.
Yeah, I still buy
them.
That's
a good little subliminal right there.
So Miss Jordan gave her these shoes that she thought was going to change her life. But she reminded her that what she needed was from the inside. And so that was coming out. that the shoes just was a tool to help her to pull out what she needed, that confidence, that exude. And then she loved that feeling, of course, those three, the feeling that it felt when she tried on these shoes, but the knowledge and that one little sentence that Miss Jordan gave her, that you are enough, was that that emotion that triggered something. And then she poured into other kids as Miss Jordan poured into her. And so that's me pouring into other kids as someone poured into me.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a good flip of your story.
And a little kid's eyes
Yeah.
of let's you at any age you can still be of service to someone else.
Oh yeah.
It's a gentle reminder, be kind. Yeah. I can't give everything away in the book, but it's super cute.
Who's illustrating the book?
Me. I do have a couple teachers that are helping me edit the book, in the sense of making sure grammatical errors and everything.
Sure.
But yeah, for the most
You're going to
part.
illustrate the drawings and stuff in
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No. I got the writing part down. I'm still working on the graphics, the illustration part.
Cool.
Yeah. No,
that's awesome.
I'm not that good yet.
Oh, just asking.
I mean, I'm creative in other ways, but no.
A friend of mine, Anthony, his mom, he's from San Clemente, California. His mom illustrates children's books.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, then let's do a work introduction.
Yeah, so I need to hit him and his team up and link you guys.
Yeah.
And she's like award-winning children's author, illustrator.
Oh, that's amazing.
I don't know her name, but I'll hit him up and link you guys up.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
That'd be so great. I'm so happy.
So where do you see the foundation in 5 years in 2030? And yourself?
Nationwide. I definitely see that
nationwide.
We will be,
wow, I love that.
I would love to be in more cities where there is a high population of underserved youth, because those are the ones that need that gentle reminder that they are enough and that they are equipped with everything as someone with the silver spoon family, that they can make whatever choices, decisions, jobs they want, they can make it happen.
That would be really cool nationwide. That's going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to happen. That's so cool. I like that answer.
Thank you.
Yeah. It's really good to shoot as high as you can, because, you might not even hit that star, but you might hit another one.
Yeah.
So.
Or multiple stars.
Or a bunch. Yeah, exactly. Nah, I love that. Shoot for the stars. You've also teamed up with Healing Hearts Movement before to provide food for the needy?
Yes. So Healing Hearts is an amazing foundation right here in Vegas, but they're also, if I'm not mistaken, nationwide, but also they're in different countries too.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And so they provide emotional intelligence. For example, Yolanda, who is the founder, she taught me if you're starting to, if you're crying, you tap on your hand here, because it's a disconnect from the subconscious to the physical. And so small,
it's like someone pinching you, and you're okay.
Or if you're doing this, which is the same as if you're nervous or anxiety, pinch on these, really get your nail in there. And if you do it, try it. You're more focused on that
think
feeling.
About this.
Yeah, than what you're actually feeling. And so I think kids that plays with confidence. Kids need to know how to self-regulate, in the sense of, if someone did this to me, I can only control me and not lash out in anger, because I can't use my words to describe how I'm feeling in that moment. But if I can get my emotions down, then we have saved the fight. And not just a fight, the physical altercation, but a fight within their self too, mentally. And that's where mental health comes to play.
You know a lot about this stuff. I'm really impressed with your knowledge. It's beyond whatever I thought, honestly.
Thank you. Yeah. If you haven't checked out Healing Hearts and Yolanda's story, she has also a program called Lisi's Bench. And a little backstory.
What's it called?
Lisi's Bench. That's one of her programs.
Oh, bench.
Bench, an actual sit down bench.
Yeah.
And her niece committed suicide. And so this was
Lisa.
yes, and this was a project that they were starting together. And so in her honor, she wanted to fulfill, because she's still here in spirit and working, the rooms and everything, and making sure kids feel love. And so with this bench, if a child sits on it and they're trained, either kids or adults that know what that signifies, has to cry for help without saying I need help, because sometimes people don't know how to use their words. So when you sit on this bench, you need an outlet. And so the person, whether it's an adult or a child of their peers, will come out and help them, and however that looks, of starting the conversation. So it's a way of, let's try to release this.
That's cool.
The form of words, yeah.
Wow. So it's a silent signal.
Yes, because so many people cry in rooms by themselves silently.
Sure. They don't want to reach out. They don't think that they're deserving of help. Yeah. I think that's a lot of it. Like sometimes, like people might know there's help, but they think that whatever they've done to make themselves feel like that might be too much to get help for it.
Yeah.
But it's not.
Yes. Love what she does. I back it 100%, because I too have suffered with depression, especially as a child, getting bullied. It's like, who am I going to tell?
Yeah.
And of course, back in the day, times were a little bit different, where it's like you just, toughen it up and keep it moving, where it's not the best choice, but it was the choice at the time.
Yeah.
And so I 100% wholeheartedly loves what she do.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, because the kids need it. And to be honest, the parents do too, because you can't help the child and then go back to a toxic environment.
Right. Because it's just going to cycle. You're right.
Yeah. And she does both. She works with predominantly children, but she works with families.
Oh, cool.
And that's including the adults. Yeah.
Wow. Well, that's cool. I like that. Do you have any mentors?
I do.
Let's hear about them. Who are they?
Who? Honestly, one that in a short amount of time, Marquetta DeVille.
Yeah.
She has been a really good mentor. Also, Vera Jackson. She is phenomenal in what she does. She is business savvy, but also in the sense of let's keep it for the kids and let's expand it to more kids. So that way, she always say, you're thinking a little too small. Like let's broaden it in the sense of we have to help more kids, because what you have is a great need and it needs to be shared across the nation.
Okay. So Marquetta and Vera.
Yes, and Yolanda. Yolanda is amazing. There's probably so many more that I talk to that I just can't think of the names. I'm going
No,
blank.
That's fine. No, three's good. Yeah. That's a good amount. Do you mentor anybody?
Not really, in the sense, because I have great conversations, but I wouldn't call myself a mentor. It's like if I got, you got, because if I'm an open book in the sense of I don't gatekeep. So if you need help and you need to, I can help you in those areas, then you got all my knowledge. You got my resources. If I got it, you got it.
So how difficult is it to start a nonprofit, and what advice would you give to somebody wanting to start one?
If someone wants to start a nonprofit today, I would say start it, because there's two different things that goes into a nonprofit. You can be a nonprofit, but also not, in the government eyes, be a nonprofit, in the sense that that's just like you have these companies that are not legal companies or formulated companies in the sense of under the government. But you want to be a 501c3. That way you are, in the eyes of the government, a legit nonprofit. So that's also I wanted to differentiate, because when you hear nonprofit, anybody can be a nonprofit. But to get your paperwork in order, you need to be a 501c3.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so start the nonprofit first, file the paperwork for the 501c3. It does take some time. So essentially you will be a nonprofit before you turn to a 501c3 officially, just go for it. Because what you have can add value. If it can add value to one life, whether that's adult, or child, or animal, or whatever that looks like, then you have added value to this world because you help one, whatever that capacity that looks like. Paperwork side, I use a lawyer. I tried YouTube first and it didn't work. And she was like, you have a lot of errors I have to go back and fix. And so I personally don't recommend doing it yourself because there's a lot of questions, especially like on the bylaws, that I had
That's
no
good
idea.
advice.
I had no idea what that meant.
Yeah.
It was definitely written
Who
in,
would?
right? Like
In legalese?
Yeah, yes. And I was just like, I need someone to help me
No, that's
break
good
this down.
advice. Because like, if you don't know how to decipher a document, like, and somebody does, and you could just pay them to be on your team, I think that's a better move too.
Yeah, I wouldn't deter anyone from not doing it because it is a little work, but good work is always, needed when you want to reap the benefit of something, because nothing's given to you. And so put in the work, and then you're gonna smile just like me. You're gonna be happy. I would say know your strength and know where you need, know where there's opportunity to bring in help. Because not even you look at the biggest corporations in America, there's not just one person, there is a team.
Oh yeah.
And so know your strength and then find opportunities to bring people that have execute strengths in those areas that you need. And then you're going to see your value in the team, not just you.
Are there any questions that I haven't asked you that I might have missed or that you'd like to talk about? And do you have any projects coming up?
I do. So March 17th, we have our green tea event at Nehemiah's church. It's on North Rancho.
Okay.
It is a donation of $50 for the ticket, and it's going to be all green festive. It's on St. Patrick's Day, so like, why not? Teresa is, have you ever heard of the MMA fighter, Bubba Badman Jenkins?
I'm not super into MMA, so I haven't heard of him. But what is he from out here or what?
I'm not sure if they're from out here, but he lives here now.
Okay.
And his mom wrote a book, and she is doing her debut of her book and doing some signage there. And then Bubba Badman Jenkins would also be there, and he has a foundation too, helping underserved kids. And so that's just awesome. Like, why would I not? Like, I'm excited,
that's a good mix right there.
Yeah. And there's going to be some other guest speakers. And then, of course, I'll be speaking about the foundation. There's going to be like a high tea. So like awesome, cool tea. And
it's going to be green, all green tea.
Yeah. Well, no.
Oh, so, okay. Like, I thought maybe because of St. Patrick's Day, March 17th.
It'll be green, and then maybe and then the food will have color, of course, like a summer berry salad. There's going to be like berries, but still there's some lettuce, so there's some green. So it's going to be fun. It's just going to be it's 2 to 4. It's going to be networking.
Cool.
Amazing people in the room, great tea, great food, great vibe, great time. Should I say more? So that's the immediate one, March 17th. And then May 10th, we have our 1-year anniversary. Can you believe we are almost
for the foundation?
For the foundation. Yay!
Nice.
March 10th. And that is presented by Commissioner Justin Jones with District F. And it's going to be from 11 a.m. to 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Desert Breeze Soccer Complex. And it's just going to be a total vibe of amazing time. We have a big stage like right in the center of the park, and we're doing like showcasing Las Vegas talent, whether that's in performers and artists. Like it's going to be awesome.
Oh, that sounds great.
Yeah, like 4 hours of just live entertainment, along with interactive bouncies for the kids. Games for the kids, and of course the adults. We got the police grill off, we got flag football. Like, it's a lot going on. Fun. Food trucks, so of course you can get great food and stay out there for the whole time. But the whole idea is to enjoy from start to finish. And if you got kiddos, there's something for everybody to do there.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
May 10th.
Yes, and there's also going to be resources and vendor tables. So if we do have any vendors out there, whether you are providing resources for the community or you want to sell your items, definitely email info@yourperfectfootwear.org or send a text or call to 702-329-0066.
Do it.
And then last but not least, we have our, even though it is a faux pas, fashion faux pas, our all white affair sneaker ball. So you wear all white and you let your sneakers do the talking.
Okay. But do your sneakers have to be white as well?
No. So it's like we want your sneakers to be loud.
So your sneakers
as
is what is
possible.
the talking. Okay,
Yeah.
now that makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Sneaker speaks.
I like that.
Yeah, even though it's after Labor
It's
Day.
after Labor. I was like, what's the faux pas
Because
about?
it's after
Okay,
Labor
I got
Day. So stay tuned for that one.
What's it like the week after on purpose?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
the weekend after. Yeah.
That's cool.
So it's kind of like we're breaking systematic barriers and systems for the foundation, and it's no different with this one. We're breaking fashion barriers with this one.
That sounds like a fun event, though.
Yeah,
I like that
yeah.
one.
It's going to be pretty awesome. So everyone's just going to be in all white, and you're just going to be like, who has amazing
The dopest
sneakers?
kicks.
Yeah. And so
I might come to that.
You should.
Yeah.
You might. You are. We're speaking it into existence.
I'm in it.
Yeah. And so, fun fact about me, as I said, I never owned a pair of Jordans. Always wanted it growing up, but as an adult, I couldn't bring myself to buying it. But I love seeing kids wear it. Even today, I have on my little work loafers. I don't know what sneakers I would wear.
But you're gonna have to find something.
I don't really wear sneakers because
you're gonna have to find something.
I know. I'm like, I can't have a sneaker ball and not wear some cool sneakers. I gotta find some cool sneakers. I'm probably gonna have like the kids help me. I'm just gonna be like, all right, guys, these are my options. Pick which one. Don't let me know.
Just about any of the sneaker companies, you can go on there right now and design your own shoe. You don't have to get that one, but you can go and design one on like Nike, on Adidas,
you know what
on
I would
etc.
love?
Yeah,
I would love if a shoe company sponsor just sent me a pair of women's shoes. You can DM me for my size, and just sponsor a pair of cool custom shoes for this event.
Yo, what about the people over at Shoe Palace? They are obviously tied into all the shoe companies. Maybe you should hit them up and like have them go to bat for you. And
maybe we should start a hashtag war, and so that way, not war, a hashtag thread, so they see it. Help the foundation.
Absolutely.
Or I don't know, like some cool hashtags where Shoe Palace would. They would
why
help,
not?
Right?
Yeah, why not? I mean, it's one more pair. It's not, come on. They got you.
We'll see.
Okay, so if you were on a desert island, what 5 albums would you bring with you? If you can't think of albums, you could just say artists that you really like, 5 artists that you bring music from. But albums is preferred. Because some people can't think of it and they say greatest hits, but that's fine too. But
let's see. I am drawing a blank, to be honest.
Okay.
So I don't listen
think
to
of one. I know you got
It'll
one.
probably be like my like on Spotify, I listen to like the motivational stations and like high frequencies because it keeps me sane. So that would be one.
Okay.
For high frequencies. 2, I would probably Lil Wayne.
Okay.
I grew up in his era.
Which album?
So I do like the Carter 3 or the last one. It's one of the Carters, whatever number it is. I could see it vividly of like Red and with him being a little baby on the album cover.
Okay.
I just don't know which number.
We'll put it up on the screen. I'll find it. Okay, there's 2. So high frequency station on Spotify, Lil Wayne, and what else?
I would say Carrie Underwood too.
Carrie Underwood.
Yeah, I love her vocals. And she's great.
You want to hear something funny about Carrie Underwood? So for like 5 years, I worked at Coachella. being a stagehand and like setting up the stages. And on the week after Coachella is it's called Stagecoach. It's a country thing, and Carrie Underwood was one of the artists on our stage, and one of the older stagehands, he was like 55, was absolutely in love with her. And every time I hear her name, I think of exactly what he said, because every time her name was said, like it would be like, you know, them on the PA being like, oh yeah, Carrie Underwood in 5 minutes or whatever. He'd look like almost, he was 55, but he would look at you almost like Beavis and Butthead, and he'd be like, Carrie Underpants. So every time I hear her name, I think of Carrie Underpants. So anyway, so you got 3, Carrie Underwood.
I would say my fourth would be, taking it all old school.
Yeah, of course.
Juvenile.
400 Degrees?
Yang Yang Twins, like those would probably be, like I was actually just listening to them yesterday. I was like, oh, the 90s. Yay.
So wait, Juvenile 400 Degrees, is this the album that you would pick?
I think so. I'm not sure about the album, but
okay.
like when it's taking over from the 2000s.
Oh yeah, the Juvenile had some hits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the Yang Yang Twins.
Oh, Yang Yang Twins?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I would say like, I feel like they're, Nelly would be on there too. Their music for me is just dateless. Like I can listen to it when I was younger, today, and that's like what Carrie Underwood for me. It's like I can listen to it any day. It doesn't seem like it's how Juvenile says 99 and 2000. They just don't feel like there's a date on it.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, music brings you back to like a timeless space. It just feels like you're floating sometimes.
Does it take you back to my 3? my signature 3. It brings back an experience, an emotion, and you got the memory.
That's right.
Even with music.
That's right. That's your formula right there. That's your signature formula. So how can people find you online? Yes.
So Instagram, because everybody's on the gram nowadays. Yep. My personal page is Janea, that's Janea Sizemore, Sizemore. So Janea Sizemore. The foundation on the gram is Your Perfect Footwear Foundation. And also for Facebook is the same. YouTube, Your Perfect Footwear. And then our website, yourperfectfootwear.org. Yeah.
We'll put all those links below. We appreciate you guys watching. Like and subscribe if you liked what you saw.
Yay!
Janea, thanks for letting us into your world. We'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.